The Art Institute is a world-class museum which contains some of the greatest art in history. This museum holds the largest collection of Impressionist painting outside the Louvre in Paris. This converted Sacred Heart Church has become one of the premier museums in Casablanca. Featuring art from Moroccans and local artists, it's an opportunity to find local artists in a spectacular setting. There are a number of Catholic and Christian churches in Casablanca as well. We spoke to Reverend John Gooch of the St. John's Anglican Church in downtown Casablanca.
The beauty to me is many nationalities, many different denominations. In the West we tend to be, we have different preferences, etc. But here we're all together because there are very few places like this to worship. And we're very thankful to the government here and the country for allowing us to have this place of worship. And we have a fellowship and a sense of family that I've never experienced in any other country.
Friday afternoon prayers are typically the largest showing of the faithful. If there's not any room in the mosque, then people put their prayer rugs wherever they can to face the Holy Land of Mecca. And on this occasion it meant the street. One of the most popular mosques in Casablanca, the Rayyan Mosque, is frequently overflowing. The Imam's sermon on this Friday was about tolerance and how Muslims should be tolerant and peaceful toward non-Muslims. The Imam emphasized the concept of living together and religious tolerance when he spoke to us after the sermon.
بالنسبة للتسامح الآن هو لغة العصر في الوقت الذي تشابكت فيه الأمور وأصبح الكل ينظر إلى الإسلام بمنظور خاص. أصبح لزاما علينا نحن الخطباء أن نبين للناس معنى التسامح ومعنى الإسلام الحقيقي ومعنى يسر هذا الإسلام، لأن هذا الدين جاء دين رحمة ودين يسر للعالمين، للمسلمين وغير المسلمين، وهذا هو المبدأ الذي تسير عليه بلادنا.
And our cameras were allowed inside to see the School for Islamic Studies in an effort by the Imam to share their knowledge with the rest of the world.
هو المغرب دائما يبقى نموذج حي لباقي السكان الكرة الأرضية إن شئنا أن نقول، لأنه ينهج منهج التسامح والتعايش، التعايش الديني، التعايش مع الآخر، التعايش مع أصحاب الديانات الأخرى. ليس هناك فرق بين هؤلاء وهؤلاء.
Simone Levy runs the Museum of Moroccan Judaism in Casablanca. There's been a long history of tolerance for many religions in this part of the world. Simone is the Director General of the museum, which offers a unique window on Casablanca.
هذا المتحف هو متحف اليهودي المغربي وفي آن واحد متحف تعددية الدينية في هذا الوطن العزيز. Morocco, in which Islam is the majority. I don't say the Islamic people country. No, Morocco is not more Jewish or Islamic, or Morocco is Moroccan. And he has two religions traditionally. Now they are three and more, and is a land of tolerance. But I want not to say, I don't agree with tolerance. Because if I have to tolerate, I am who tolerates the Muslims. Because when the Muslims enter Morocco, they find here Christians and Jews. You understand? So who is the tolerance? I want not this word is no good. We have better word in Moroccan is ta'ayush. That is live together. Islam and Judaism are the closer religions. And we, Moroccan Jews, we lived with Muslims for centuries and centuries. Not always all is good, no, but we live, we don't die.
Women in Morocco hold many positions of leadership. We spoke to Dr. Samu, the head of obstetrics at the University Hospital in Casablanca. She spoke of the difficulties with prenatal and postnatal care in Casablanca, where many mothers die in childbirth. She also gave us a tour of the maternity ward.
مهنة طب أمراض النساء والتوليد هي مهنة شاقة وتتطلب مجهود، يعني مجهودات جبارة من طرف وتضحيات من طرف المرأة، لكنها في نفس الوقت مهنة مطلوبة عند النساء، لأن النساء في البلدان العربية والإسلامية بصفة عامة بطبيعة الحال تفضل طبيبات مختصات في أمراض النساء والتوليد. محاربة وفيات المواليد والأمهات، مع الأسف يعني الرقم في المغرب ما زال مرتفع، لأن ما لابس شيء مزيان. يمكن أن مثلا هنا بالنظر ل يعني الظروف الاقتصادية والإمكانيات التي نتوفر عليها، بطبيعة الحال نحن يعني نبذل مجهودات كبيرة حتى تكون نفس النتائج، يعني أننا نحاول أن نستخدم أقل وسائل، بينما أتصور أن في شيكاغو مثلا هناك جميع الوسائل الطبية يعني متاحة للعمل.
We also spoke with Dr. Neza Benes, a pharmacist who is the first woman member of parliament.
I have been elected in 1997, and I have worked with the population of Casablanca, and now as a member of the parliament, I am also representative of the population of Casablanca. It's more nicer to work with women, men and women. It's nicer than to work always men, and there is a lot of things very good, very important for the country and for the institution to have men and women working together. It's a hard fighting for women to be recognized and to be to can participate and share the power, share the decision making with men. But the only way to be successful is to do the first steps.
She also gave some words of inspiration and encouragement to other women who might want to take up the profession of politics.
أملي كبير بأنه النساء العربيات يصبحوا كيلعبوا دور مهم في بناء الديمقراطية في بلدان العربية، لأنه كان واحد العطاء كبير بزاف ديال النساء اللي ممكن يأتيوا به من أجل تنمية البلاد، من أجل تقدم البلاد، ومن من أجل أنه جميع الطاقات الموجودة في بلداننا العربية العزيزة تصبح فاعلة في خدمة التنمية.
Women have also become judges in Morocco, and the Honorable Judge Auer is the first president of the family court. The judge spoke to us of the difficulties associated with being a female justice.
مارس القضاء من 30 سنة. طبعا في البداية كانت بعض الصعوبات بحكم أننا بلد ما كانش فيه المرأة كتمارس العديد من المهن ومن ضمنها القضاء، كانت بعض الصعوبات، ولكن الآن الحمد لله المسائل عادية جدا، وأنا الآن في قسم أترأس 55 قاضي وتقريبا 100 موظف، وأمارس عملي بكل تعاون، بكل يعني شكل طبيعي جدا فيما يتعلق في تصريف الأمور.
وكنظن بأنه النساء هما في الحاجة إلى أكثر ثقة في النفس، أكثر ثقة في العطاءات ديالهم لبلدانهم، كما كنعرفوا أنهم كيعطيو الكثير لأسرهم، لتربية أطفالهم، لأزواجهم ولمجتمعهم بصفة عامة. وهذا ماشي من أجل أنه يعني يكون صراع ما بين الرجل والمرأة، ماشي هذا هو نهائيا المشكل اللي هو مطروح، بل اللي هو مطروح هو الصراع من خاصة في هذه الظروف الحالية اللي كيعيشها العالم ديال العولمة وديال التحديات اللي أصبحت على صعيد عالمي، أنه النساء كذلك ما يكونوش فقط يعني قوى اللي يعني غير فاعله، بل يصبحوا قوى فاعله داخل البلدان العربيه، من اجل اننا نعطيو صوره مخالفه، يعني صوره تقدميه، صوره حقيقيه ديال مجتمعاتنا العربيه، ومن اجل انه المجتمعات العربيه ديالنا تقدم الى الامام بما فيه خير لجميع افراد المجتمعات ديالنا، اطفال وصغار وكبار وشباب، نساء ورجال، وجميع الفئات المجتمعيه. هذا هو الامل ديالي الكبير بالنسبه للبلدان العربيه ديالنا.
While traditionally a man's world, there are a few women traders down at the Board of Trade. We got a chance to speak with Jenny McGathy, president of the McGathy Commodities, one of the few female traders at the Chicago Board of Trade. She is currently the chairwoman of the Commodity Option Members Committee, elected for the 5th consecutive year.
What advice would I give a woman that wants to get involved in this business? It's really a great business, and I think that it's something that no other business can offer you as far as allowing you to, have the freedom to do what you want to do in your life. But number one, to get involved in this business, you would have to really stand your ground and not really take any kind of grief from the other players. For women, they have to be faster, smarter, quicker, and just all around better to compete. And if you really have your own personal resolve, you can make it in this business. You don't have to buy into the locker room mentality. You have to be centered with yourself. It's definitely worthwhile, and that would be the kind of thing that you'd have to study up and be prepared to be on your own, and you can make it. It can be done.
Chicago is host to many major league sports franchises, from basketball to baseball. A typical Friday evening in autumn will bring out families to cheer on their local high school players. In Casablanca, there are a number of sporting teams, but soccer is their passion. A typical Saturday afternoon in Casa, as the locals call it, will bring neighbors together in a local suburb to root for their individual teams. We visited the American school in Casablanca, where a number of Chicagoans teach kindergarten through high school.
One thing that I really am happily surprised with here is just how valued and esteemed family life is. And that became all the much more true in my experience 2 years ago when I had a baby in Morocco and brought her back here, and was able to firsthand experience the impact on other people, and how all of a sudden it seemed like they were just coming out of their shells and approaching me and approaching her, and now I get questions all the time about my family and whatnot, and just strangers in the street who come up and kiss her and my other daughter, and so it was just more of a surprise than something that I thought might be a misconception of people back in the States, but that is much more true and much more out there and open and immediate an experience than I have with my children in the United States.
Something that's a little different is that here, everybody's into family. And so it's very normal to have a mom who's cooking and doing things at home and helping the kids. It's unusual in general for kids to be those ones with keys around their neck that have to let themselves in at the end of the day. That's something really different. The family unit is more traditional maybe in that sense, or conventional. Not necessarily as conservative as one might think, being a Muslim country, but still families are very much a unit that's respected here.
Then the flip side of the perceived freedom is the actual inhibitions that I experience as an American, because I'm used to being able to feel comfortable going out running in shorts and things like that. And while there are more freedoms than we may expect in a Muslim country, it still is conservative compared to what we're used to in the United States, definitely.
The Sister Cities program between Casablanca and Chicago sponsors a number of school and educational projects, including this school in Casablanca.
My school has a twin between Abraham Lincoln Elementary School and Lincoln Park High School. I think this exchange is very important between the two schools.
إشاء أبو فراس نائبة وزارة التربية الوطنية والتعليم العالي وتكوين الأطر بنيابة بن مسيك بالدار البيضاء. بالنسبة للدار البيضاء هناك مجموعة من الأنشطة الثقافية ومن تعدد كبير للمعلومات والثقافات الموجودة بها سنزود بها مدينة شيكاغو. كذلك باتصالنا بمدينة شيكاغو سنتعرف عليها وعلى تاريخها وعاداتها وتقاليدها والاحتفالات الموسمية التي تكون بها، ويكون هناك تكامل في التبادل الثقافي بين المدينتين.
Recently, a video conference was held between the two sister cities of Chicago and Casablanca. Flanking students from the Ben Emsick High School in Casablanca were U.S. Ambassador Thomas Riley, as well as Mr. Boubker Mazooz, president of the Sister Cities program. Students from the Casablancan High School speak both Arabic and French, and these students came because they speak English as well. They held a video conference with their sister city school in Chicago, Walter Payton High School.
Hi, I'm Elizabeth. I'm 15. Hi, I'm Rachel, and I'm 16 years old.
For me, I find it so easy, especially some subjects like French, for example. My question is, how do you find the viewers? Are you satisfied with your?
I'm Muslim. I come from Syrian Montenegro, and my father is Muslim.
In your opinion, what's the most useful form of communication?
Well, a lot of people use the internet here. So you can email each other over the internet, or you can act like instant message. So that's pretty much the most popular form with young people.
There's hope that these kinds of programs will help foster understanding between the two cultures. For years, Chicago has been known as the Windy City. Historically, it's been said it was because of the long-windedness of the city politicians.
Well, of course, a lot of them blame on politicians. I don't know if that's true or not.
I think it's known that way for its politics.
But this is just one more urban myth. As far back as 1885, the city has been called windy in various newspapers because of the lake effect on the city's wind. We asked people on the street if they knew why it was called the Windy City.
Where we're located, right off the Lake Michigan, we have nothing to block the wind, and it just comes in and does as it pleases.
North Pine Grove Avenue has a lot of wind, and maybe that's why. But I haven't ever figured out why it's the Windy City other than that.
We asked people on the street in Casablanca if they knew why their city is referred to as the White City.
الدار البيضاء قلوب أهلها بيضاء وقلوب أهلها تدعو إلى السلم والمحبة والوئام. لهذا سميت بالدار البيضاء.
Parce que Casablanca est blanche. Tout simplement.
الدار البيضاء أصلها كاسابلانكا مع اللغة الإسبانية. كاسابلانكا لأن البيوتات كلها مصبوغة بالطلاء الأبيض، فهذا كان اسم على مسمى.
Either because it has sort of white architecture, or maybe because that was the only color left after the other cities took theirs.
Because the first building here in Casablanca is white.
Casablanca is known as the White City. We're told it's not because of the white houses here, because then the city would be called Casas Blancas, but because it refers to this 12th century house inhabited by a man who has become the patron saint of Casablanca, Sidi Bellihout. When Spanish sailors neared the port, they were told to turn in when they saw this white house.
You ask several people, about Chicago, they think they don't know Chicago. Well, they've seen a lot of films, still they don't know anything about Chicago. And if you ask the people in Chicago, they would say the same thing about Morocco or about Casablanca. Casablanca, the film, and Hollywood, and that's it. But the reality, the people, nobody knows about the people.
I think we get caught up in government and politics too much, and it's people to people that really can solve many of the issues that we all want to talk about.
Yeah, we took a music group, a blues group that toured Morocco, not only the urban areas but also into the rural areas. And they were in a very small village, and they gave a performance out there, and the head imam of the village had never met Americans before. And after the concert was over, he approached Arlene Crutzen, who was a committee member, and she was the person responsible for putting the tour together. It was the first woman he'd ever shook hands with, also happened to be an American woman. And at the end he said, if these are Americans, please send us more.
Windy City, White City, separated by 4,257 miles, 6,852 kilometers. One city boasts a population of 2.9 million and very tall buildings. The other has 3.8 million and many Art Deco buildings. There's a 7-hour difference in time zones. One city has over 70 mosques. The other has a long history of religious tolerance. Both cities are known worldwide for their population of immigrants, of people arriving at their shores, yearning for a new life, a different life. One city has one of the largest religious buildings in the world. The other has one of the tallest buildings in the world. Chicagoans, Casablancans. In French, the Moroccans refer to the Sister City program as jumelage, or twin cities. Are the cities more like twins or more like sisters? We took our cameras to find out what these two cities on opposite ends of the planet might possibly have in common. At the end of the day, we found they had more in common than we had ever imagined.
اسميتي عبيد مصطفى. Ciao Chicago.